Flix with the Hicks, where we tell you about the movies. We tell you if they're great or if they really stink. Now it's time to start the show. Yeah, now it's time to go. Guess what? It's Flix with the Hicks.
Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Flix with the Hicks, where we review 2 films each week that we watched on DVD. This is my beautiful wife, Janet. I'm Greg. And this week, Janet got tasked with picking the worst film that we watched this week. Would you like to disclose what film you picked?
Oh, 27 Dresses, you guys. It is a major girl flick. Okay? Girly girl flick. Maybe teenage girl. I don't know. But not for me. I did not like it. It had a lot of predictable everything in it. Predictable from the beginning to the end. I did like some of the actors. Katherine Heigl, Edward Burns, which played her boss, as Jane was Catherine, and Burns was George, her boss, and then James Marsden was the reporter. But what it is the story is based on always a bridesmaid, not a bride type story. And she's been a bridesmaid and arranging all these weddings, 27 of them. So she had all these, bridesmaid dresses. You know how they're awful. And anyway, the reporter ends up meeting her, and it was a mess. Jane's in love with George, her boss, and she does these weddings on the side, and she's got all this schedule, and runs into the reporter, and she loses her schedule book. Now this reporter is making a story about what this girl is doing. She's doing all these weddings and always a bridesmaid, never the bride. And anyway, her sister falls in love with her boss, and she's had a crush on her boss forever, and it's a mess. And it's, I like some of, the characters. Judy Greer is a great comedian, and, she always plays a good role. But, it wasn't for me, you guys. The whole story, just so predictable. You know what's going to happen at the end. Of course, it's a feel-good movie.
Yes.
And what do you think of it?
20 minutes into the film, I knew how it was going to end. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely not a guy's film. I can understand a guy taking a date to see the film, thinking that the girl's going to enjoy it. If you enjoy feel-good movies, you'd probably watch this film.
But you better be serious about your date, because this is one of those wedding things.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't take your first date there, because that's not a good thing to do, ever. You're insinuating you really like that girl. You don't do that.
Oh, okay. So.
Later on, if you're serious about the girl, it's a good thing.
So how would you rate your film?
I'll say 45.
Out of 0 to 100, 45.
Yeah, 45 at the most. It's got some funny parts in it, but I like, the actors and actresses, but that's the best I can give it. It was made for $30 million. It made $162 million.
So it did pretty well.
It was released. We're outside, bugs. It was released in January 2008 in Australia first, and then a couple weeks later here in America. It did pretty good, but I think it's mostly because who's in it, the story.
Be. I would give your film, I'd give it a 30.
Yeah.
I just wasn't interested in it. I mean, I watched it. It was okay, but I just didn't care for it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on to the good film.
Yeah, I want to.
The best film of the week that we watched was Almost Famous. It came out in 2000. It had a budget of $60 million, and it only made $47 million at the box office.
Whoa.
it was a sleeper. The people that saw the movie loved the movie. The critics loved the movie. It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay for an Academy Award, and it had an all-star cast, a fantastic cast. The cast included Frances McDormand, Kate Hudson, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jason Lee, Billy Crudup, and Patrick Fugit, which I don't think I've ever seen him in a film before this. And he played the lead character. He played William. And this film was a semi-autobiographical story of Cameron Crowe when he was young and a teenage journalist. And basically, William, played by Patrick Fugit, gets kind of discovered by Rolling Stone magazine.
That was cool.
Yeah, they love his writing, so they ask him if he could cover a new up-and-coming band for them called Stillwater.
Yep.
And they didn't realize at the time that this kid was only 15 years old.
Right. This is awesome.
And the kid, William, wasn't going to tell him that. He wanted this chance. In the meantime, his mother, played by Frances McDormand, she was a very controlling mother. And she didn't want pop culture, and this movie was based in 1973. She didn't want pop culture to influence her children, literally to the point where William's older sister left home to become a stewardess because she had to get out of the house. And so anyways, William accepts this job. His mother ends up going along with it. He's going to be on the road with this band Stillwater, and I believe it was for like a week, which turned into much, much longer than a week.
Yeah. This is so cool.
The film, it opens William's eyes up to what actually goes on with a rock band on the road. Everything from the roadies to the, what do you call the girls that hang out with the bands? They follow the band everywhere.
Oh, now I
can't think of it. Anyway.
I had it in my head. Not roadies.
The roadies are the people that set up stage.
Yeah,
and all that.
right.
But anyhow, it opens up William's eyes to how these bands would treat these girls that follow them on the road. The girls were in love with band members, but the band members were really just using them. And so anyhow, it's a very good film though. It really, to me, spoke of those times in the 1970s. They did a really good job of the sets, the way they spoke, everything. It reminded me of 1973. Right. And Cameron Crowe wrote this film, directed it, and produced it. This was his baby. And what's his name? Roger Ebert said that this film was number 9, the 9th best film of the 2000s. So anyhow, wonderful film. Really enjoyed the film. Kate Hudson was fantastic in this film.
Yeah,
she really
I thought
was.
she was really good.
Frances McDormand, she's fantastic in everything.
Yeah.
But I would give this film 0 to 100. I would give it a 92.
I'm trying to think of the girls that followed. It's not roadies, not, what's the word for that? Oh, the girls that would follow the bands everywhere. Anyway, I'd give it, I was thinking like 90. Yeah.
Groupies.
You did it! Oh my God, they're called groupies. Yeah, I was thinking cronies or something like that. You had it. Good job.
But it's funny how Rolling Stone has no idea how young this kid is. They eventually find out. Lester Bangs is with Rolling Stones is kind of the handler of this young William, talking to him on the phone, going over what he's written, and there's a lot of really funny parts in it. But I really enjoyed the way William would come up with new ways of telling his mom, I have to be on the road for 3 more days. I have to be on the road for 5 more days. But it was really a good film.
Ingenious, very intelligent.
Yes.
Very intelligent and creative. Obviously, you know, and no wonder he became what he became.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, seriously. And seeing the true stories about people's lives, that this stuff really does happen to people. That's awesome. And, you know, what a band goes through, and what, you know, what all that really did happen. And
yeah, this,
you know, and I graduated in '79, so I was like, you know, really there at that point, seeing some of that lifestyle.
And this film puts you through all the emotions. Literally, there's bad things that happen on the road, things that just make you want to tear up and cry. And then there's fantastic things that happen. And the band kind of ends up adopting William, and at times you don't know whether they really like him or if they just want to get rid of him.
Right.
So, but really a wonderful film.
It is. Yeah, I give it a 90. Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it again.
Oh, I will too.
Yeah, it's a keeper. We got bugs out here, and we're outside, y'all, and it's hot. Okay, sorry.
She can't talk without doing this stuff, so.
I know. Well, there's little bugs.
But anyhow, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Flix with the Hicks, and until next time, go out and see a good film, be good to your family, and we'll see you again soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.